Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. We're going to be talking about some trades that I got into at open this Monday morning. Market's at all-time highs, and we're making moves. We're trying to get paid. So let's go ahead and let's review some of the things that I'm looking at and record some of the ideas that I have now and see how things play out. So it is the 23rd. I had this original idea on the 15th. I had said this might have some potential to move higher. MLM sounds fundamentally they have pulled back from their high of 242, and they have some room to go. So they had room to run up if they were to have a breakout. So I was watching this one. It really caught my attention last Friday at close. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this was published on what? Before market open last Monday. This is how it performed. The last 2 days, you can see on Friday and Thursday, we just really took off. That's a 6% runner right there. If I had been watching this better or more eager about it, I would have gotten in, after the close of this bar right here and got that bar in. So we're going to be discussing this trade idea. I actually got into them. Took an initial position in them this morning. We went ahead. I only went in with a small position on this one. I only went in 600 shares. Once it gets a confirmed breakout above this green line, I'll go ahead and add another 1,000. Unfortunately, this morning I bought it at market open all the way up there at 216. So I got burned on this one right away. This is actually something I've been struggling with in the past few weeks on breakout plays where it does that little morning fake. This actually happened to me on Lockheed Martin, happened to me on LUV last week. We're also going to talk about LUV in this video, but and I mean, look how easy it is to get faked out. At market open, you see that it's green, you see it's got some good volume behind it, obviously because it's market open, but you get in and then it quickly reverses on you. So I've been thinking about it. There's really a few ways to combat it. One, don't trade the first 15-30 minutes on a Monday, or two, just make it every single day. Don't trade the first 15 minutes. Those are just two ideas. Or you could trade it on a Monday morning with a small initial entry with a very tight stop loss. Maybe I get in here with tight stop loss like right here. That's only good for a portion of the day maybe, or the whole day. Because if you're trying to buy a breakout play, you're not expecting much retracement on this bar right here. So there we go. That's MLM. I think this one can go higher. You can notice the 200-day MA here is pointed down slightly. It's relatively flat though, and I personally have found when moving averages are flat, that shows that consolidation has, I've been taught this, and I've also, looked at it myself. It shows that consolidation has taken place. Buyers and sellers have kind of agreed upon a price. That's the only way for the 200-day moving average to become flat. So they've gone down. They pushed all those sellers out. Now the MA is flat, and we're breaking past that MA. The only way for the 200 moving average to be flat is if we've gone down and we've come right back up, and that's we've gone down here and we've come back up. So I'm watching this one. I'm in this one, only a small position. So if I get burned on it, nothing too big for me. My stop loss is at 210 down here, which would unfortunately be a $6 loss a share in a very quick period of time. But poor trade execution and things like this happen. If this is the very first time you've seen my video, a quick 20-second explanation of what we're looking for on the MACD and RSI here. We're looking for a MACD zero line crossing to the upside. That's what we get here, zero line crossing or to the upside. Nice divergence in it as well. You can see we have an RSI trend line break. I will make I would call this top side RSI resistance break. I will make a quick note that I have noticed when RSI lines are stretching back all the way to this November period. I've noticed this recently. It hasn't really been working. And I would assume that this is just because November is so far back. I've noticed that I've been having better success with the closer RSI top side resistance breaks. which makes sense because there's a lot of room for error to accumulate in here. I mean, you know, you're comparing RSI values over a 14-day period. So things don't always line up. It's all the way back there. But anyways, let's move on from this chart real quick. We'll take a look at the weekly. I like the weekly as well as far as the RSI is considered. You know, we get an RSI trend line break right there and we're good to go. Unfortunately, we're starting the week down here, this little notch rather than breaking through. So that's not really what I like to see, but it is what it is. Earnings are on the 7th. Further away than I thought. So, you know, margin of safety here is higher as far as that goes. Let's get on to FDC. I've talked a little bit too much already, so we're at 5 minutes, so we got to speed this up. I really like this one until today. It looks like it's going to be a real loser for me, unfortunately. So essentially, you know, I saw RSI trendline break. It's a little biased because there's only 2 points of contact. We have a RSI uniformity line. If you don't know about it, you can look at some of my other videos maybe and learn about it. But you know, if see we try to go above this period here, get rejected here, and then we're testing it again. So if we can move above this green line, we're good to go. MACD looks pretty solid. We got a trend line break and a zero crossing. So I was really hoping a little bit more from this one than what we're seeing today, but it is what it is. You know, I saw that these breakouts were on above average volume. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, maybe later this week we'll see more. This is just a light volume pullback right now. We'll see what it is. Stop loss is here at I think it's like 1.3% for me. I'd lose $13 out of 1,000 if I got stopped out around here. Something like that. I calculated it this morning. Once again, I got in. I'd put it just a buy limit order before I went to class this morning, and so I got filled right at the market open. And once again, we get a false breakout and then a reversal lower. So that's 2 breakouts in one day that had the same issue for me. Again, this is a Monday morning, so that could have been part of it, but it is what it is. Finally, let's look at, before I go there, let's go ahead and look at the weekly. Always a good idea to look at the higher time frames. Honestly, if we look at the RSI, we have a trend line break right here. I would draw it, but then I'd have to bring back the daily lines. So weekly is looking pretty good. Something to note about them, their ER is right around the corner. So this was going to be a real quick trade for me if they were breaking higher. I was hoping to get 21 out of this pretty quickly. So we'll see. LUV. It was a horrible trade. Another failed trade for me. So it's annotated the chart for us. I didn't realize it wasn't annotated. So if we look at LUV, I actually got in last week right here. Horrible entry. Once again, horrible entry. The reason why I was even looking at this was because I've actually done videos on, I did a video on LUV back in here a few months ago, and I said that it started to look weak up in here because of some of the daily bars that we were seeing. And what do you know, within a couple of days, at first it looked like I was wrong. Within a couple of days, we see a massive sell-off. But nonetheless, coming back to this, I bought on this day right here at breakout, at market open. There was some sort of news. One of the airlines had reported or something, and we were breaking higher. My dad had asked me about LUV earlier that week. He said, what do you think about them? And, I said, hey, if we can clear this 59, 58 wall that we're seeing right here, we're good to move higher. And I said I'd wait until, like 59, 75, 59, 90 to confirm a breakout. Just make sure no false noise is getting you in. And next morning, well, a couple days later, we do finally break out of here and at market open. And I'm like, oh boy, I'm all over this. So I buy in. Let's look at how poorly of a buy-in this was. So if we take a look on the 5-minute, I got in all the way up here, 59.78. And it very quickly reversed on me. In hindsight, RSI is all the way up at, it's off the chart. all the way up at 90. So it'd be like, of course, it's gonna have to come back down a little bit, unless it sustains itself like that, but unlikely. It has to come back down before it can move higher. Anyways, what I'm saying is, shouldn't have bought when I bought, and that's once again why you should not trade at open. Every single trade idea that we've gone over in this video, we determined that we should not be trading this stuff at open. So I got out today. I said, hey, if they're breaking down below what I put my stop loss in this morning at 59.03. 59.03, right up in there. I said, hey, if it starts breaking down below this right here, then we're moving lower. And looks like it was a good call because we're moving lower and increasing volume. So is what it is. Also, take a look at the daily RSI. RSI is breaking below this level right here, which I would consider slightly significant. So we are out with a small loss, unfortunately. Last point to make is that the RSI has not broken above this box line right here. I had drawn this on a chart last week, and it doesn't look like too much right now, but I've done analysis on it, and I determined if you break above the top side of this box, then you are good to go. So we're out. Small loss is what it is. We learn from our mistakes, and I hope that in this video, you and I were both able to learn something about market psychology and market timing, and generally just what to do in a market environment. So thanks for tuning in. If you like this video and still listening, hit that like button and follow for more. Thank you.